we're back. I was worried there for a second because one of my drives right now might be dead, which is a little unfortunate. It isn't one of my main drives, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can lose the stuff that's on it. Um, it'll just be a little unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, I was trying to repair it, and I had to wait for my computer to restart and stuff, and it was taking a minute to repair, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to make it here on time. But here I am. I'm making it here on time, chat. So yeah, we're here, and we are about to see some more epic games. I'm really excited to see how South Korea does here. So there's only going to be 2 games here, which is interesting. But, you know, we started it early. We're getting our content worth, chat. We're getting our content worth. But, yeah, you know, here we go. Just wanted to get this all started. I'm cleaning my glasses right now because they're, like, a little crusty. Alright, they're, like, less crusty now. Oh, Lord. So first match is going to be Indonesia and Japan. I haven't really seen the talent that's on both of these teams. Let's see. Let's go take a look, huh? Let's go take a look. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up on my other monitor. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening here. Teams. So we're in APAC A. Indonesia. Let's see what's happening in Indonesia. That's good. Too far. Okay, this is good. I don't really know any of these players, Chad. I'm gonna be real. Any Japanese players I know? Nico. KSG. Nico and KSG. Okay, some good players on Team Japan. But let's see how well they do. Just based off of me knowing the players from Japan, I think that Japan's gonna get this. But who knows? Maybe Indonesia's great, and I just beyond me. Right? Here we go. Here, I'm excited. I'm excited. I like to see the different songs that play on the different regions because they are different. They cater. They definitely try to cater to different audiences, which I think is pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. We're getting into the games now. Let's go.
And welcome everyone to Overwatch World Cup, and this is going to be APAC Group A. My name's G-Clef. With me, we have Unknown as always, and tonight it is going to be...
I've heard a lot of these casters because I would watch a lot of contenders at the time that they were casting.
Not playing yesterday, and also South Korea is also coming back for tonight's matches.
I've seen a lot of Korean contenders in particular.
In the field yesterday doing a first pitch.
That's right.
They were actually doing a community event, and so but they're back today, and it's also very, very going to be exciting today because Japan and South Korea, who are considered most commonly the best two teams on the group, will be playing today.
They're not going against each other yet, though.
Of
That's
course.
happening on the last day of the next Sunday, basically. I think it's one of the last matches too, so that's going to be one of the most hyped matches for sure in the future. But today we do have those teams in Indonesia versus Japan, and the second one is going to be the Hong Kong versus South Korea, which is very interesting because Hong Kong, I think a lot of people were saying, and us included, are saying should be the team, could totally be the team taking that third placement spot out of the 6.
For sure.
Looks like it's going to be that way.
Hong Kong's looking strong.
Moment. However, we do have a lot of matches remaining. It is just halfway through the group. It is for some countries it is not even halfway through the group yet. But at the week 1 at least for now, Hong Kong definitely looks very, very strong, and looks like they're going to take that third place, but we'll have to see. This is going to be their true test because this is going to be the first time Hong Kong is going to go against a team that is generally considered a higher power level than them.
One of the highest power in the entire World Cup is what a lot of people are saying. Of course, do want to believe that for sure, as I think it's a really good idea before you go into the next stages of the World Cup to test your power level against Team South Korea, because they're known to be one of the strongest Overwatch League members all around the
Here we go,
squad.
chat.
So you do have to consider and think you have to measure your own power level in that way. So before we go in, here's the overview once again. We are in that APAC Group A. The top 3 teams out of the 6 will be moving up to that next stage. Of course, we also do have APAC B with the other countries. Yeah, make sure to follow that too. Yeah, from other APAC. So, of course, we have a whole lot of countries, of course.
Around
shit.
the World Cup
representing
is
so many.
everywhere in the world. So, yeah, not just APAC. We have Europe, we have the Americas, and although we don't have the qualifiers for China, mainland China, we do have that region as well. And if you look at the broadcast schedule, it's almost 24 hours of Overwatch. So I'm excited.
So if you can watch all of it, you're getting no sleep whatsoever. Like maximum 4 hours a day or less. I mean,
Oh, there is a
there's
map pool, so you
should
can't
be
pick every
very
map. That's why we've been seeing
familiar
lots of the same
by
map.
now, of course, we're all playing until the last day.
Barely seen any Shambali.
Yeah, it's going to be the format for all days. And
Which makes a lot of
a lot of
sense.
things happen, especially on that map number 2, because
Exactly.
the loser gets to choose the mode and the map.
Yeah, so I think we've seen all 3 control maps: Lijiang, Ilios, and Nepal. We haven't seen some of the maps from Hybrid or Escort because, like you said, G-Clef, the loser can choose the map type and map. So we haven't seen maps like Numbani or some other maps, but I'm expecting to see them. Like we said, the group is only nearly halfway done. So we'll be able to see a variety of maps, and here are the standings. As you can see, some countries played a little bit more than others. South Korea and Indonesia will be playing their second match of the tournament, so they will be matching those match numbers at the current moment. Hong Kong and Japan leading the pack with 2 wins, with all 2-0, so they have 4 map differentials. So the other side, on the other side of the bracket, it is Philippines and Chinese Taipei with 2 losses and -4 in the differentials. So it hasn't been a close match.
Yeah, so far, and which means no 1-1s happening in the middle at all. There's no 2-1s happening from APAC Group A so far, because I'm expecting those matches to come real soon. If today, maybe not. If not, next week. And that's going to be changing those even numbers into some odd numbers, especially for that map differential. And of course, draw the line in the middle. The top 3 moves up. The bottom 3 will be eliminated from the qualifiers. Here's
The Hong Kong
as
South
we
Korea
mentioned
match is
before.
probably going to be good.
First match,
That's what
Indonesia versus
I'm
Japan.
excited to see that
Second
one.
match will be South Korea versus Hong Kong.
I'm excited to see that one.
It's gonna be some quality time, some quality Overwatch for us.
So yes, like G Cliff said, it's
Cool shit. Gonna be cool shit,
exciting
chat.
to see Japan and South Korea, the very good teams, play, and also it'll be interesting to see how other teams try to play against them. They know that Japan and South Korea are very, very strong teams. But it's not like the game's over. It's not like they're unbeatable. So, Indonesia and Hong Kong, both of them should kind of have a clear list of win conditions and try to execute them. Like this match here, Indonesia versus Japan. Indonesia was looking the best out of the teams.
Look at the tracer fit.
0-2.
I never knew it was
their
that
double
clean.
flankers looked really threatening, especially against Blizzard, especially against Hong Kong at Blizzard World on their attack. Their double flankers really seemed on point. And here you can see they're starting 5. I want to highlight Speed 75 here. His tracer was phenomenal.
Yeah, along with Proxy Sombra, I remember those super plays and Speed 75, especially bringing a lot of kill catches. Along with Shrimp, I think Shrimp actually had some really cool move from the back line, supporting his teammates. That was pretty good, wild to see on that map for Indonesia. But they're up against a pretty strong team, and it's going to be an uphill challenge because Japan is considered to be at least in the top 2. They should be. That's in theory for a lot of people.
Yeah, so we haven't seen the graphics yet, but Japan is, as we've been mentioning several times, but if this is the first time for you joining us, Team Japan is actually Team Beryl, who was playing in most recently in the Overwatch Contenders APAC series.
Oh, really? Is that literally
And
just the same
being
team?
like a single team means that they have that team cohesion already in them, which we've seen in the qualifiers. A lot of
KSG's such a
teams
good
have been
player,
lacking
chat.
a lot. And so this form of this
KSG
iteration
can
of
get
Japan
this.
is
Oh, Mint as
the
well.
most refined Team Japan that I've seen in the Overwatch World Cup. So good cohesion, good objective awareness as well, because we've seen, especially in the early days and in other regions as well, that a lot of teams, although they do win team fights, they kind of sometimes neglect the objective. The card may be the point on control maps, and Japan has all these kind of communications already set. So that's a huge advantage. And also, Japan is employing a lot of different compositions as well. Winston and double flankers is their main, mostly used composition. Also, we've been seeing a lot of Ram Rush yesterday.
Oh, yes, we did. From KSG and also Yuki and Nico, they have been doing a phenomenal job actually going against Philippines and also the Chinese Taipei, both having a 2-0 result. So if they win again here today, Team Japan will actually be standing on top.
Yep. So
Just
Interesting.
for that moment, maybe.
well, we have to see
If they
exactly
win,
how
they'll
the
stand
teams
on
play
top.
out,
Okay,
but,
cool.
having 3 wins and +6 map differentials will be a very, very safe spot, if I'm not mistaken, unless they kind of drop out all the other remaining matches. I think they will be in a pretty confident spot in getting into the qualifiers. Getting qualified.
Go with the Li Zhang in the beginning
we will
here.
have Li Zhang Tower
Makes
at
sense,
our
makes
first round.
sense.
Yeah, Legion Tower, we've seen a couple of echoes staying in the air. Some
Couple echoes,
turning out to
couple
be
powers as well.
really great. Some actually the other way.
But I know that
some
in
echo play did not
APAC,
turn
they're
out
going to want to
be
play a lot of
right
Monkey.
away. So far,
So there's
though,
that.
Farmers
They're gonna wanna
see
play a
as much
lot
of
of Monkey in APAC.
Group A. We've seen it happening from the other regions.
I know they love Monkey.
Not just from a specific region. Actually, quite a lot of teams on this map, especially when we go into some part of Legion Tower.
Yeah, Gardens is a favorite for Pharmacy to feature in, and also Night Market sometimes as well. I do think that in APAC we do see a little bit more of conventional metas, rather like the Winston dive, the Ramatra rush, rather than some curveballs like the other regions have been employing.
Yeah, sure.
think
Well,
that
I think we're gonna see
Indonesia
some Winston
might
comps
feel
here.
the need for a
Well,
little bit of those curveballs,
yeah.
because they need to
Zarya!
power levels
KSG with the
on the
Zarya,
and
interesting.
They need to identify their win conditions and execute, because this
I wonder if they're
game
gonna
is
keep
not just
it.
about mechanics, it's about mechanics and tactics.
But yeah, it's like I said, they're already
But
gonna run the
we
monkey.
probably
There you
should
go.
know that Japan, who hasn't
I would
had
prefer the
same
Ram
team
Rush here. I
for
think that Ram
at
Rush would work
almost
super
a
well on
full year,
super well on Control
should
Center.
be ahead of them.
But
So they
looks
need
like
to
neither
put
of
this- they
these
need
teams
to
want to use
drag
that.
this, game down to a pure
Japan's
mechanical
running a
play level,
really
which they're
interesting
pretty
comp right
confident in.
now.
So, a curveball. Like,
I don't
in
know if this is
competition would be
disrespectful
very
or
welcome,
what.
But it looks like they're going for the Winston double flanker that they've been successful in against
for
Hong
Indonesia.
Kong here.
Yep, and Japan actually having Torbjorn Reaper DPS with Zarya on KSG. So certainly changing up a little bit.
Yeah, this is the
compared to
first
the
time
normal,
I've
we
seen
would say,
Zarya
from Japan's
used
side.
here.
Yes, this is the first Zarya that we've been seeing on KSG, and with Feral having
Good
Titan
spy
as
check.
their off-tank, this
Holy
is actually
shit.
really surprising that KSG is the one who's playing the Zarya here.
Yeah, could totally work when you can actually cover as a tank for against a double.
Crazy kill on
and if
proxies.
Cobra dies with turret like that. That's not a great sign. Here comes
They're running a really interesting
Side,
comp and
SQP.
winning on it.
The interesting
Like
part
literally,
of
I think
Japan's
if
competition
Indonesia
is that
runs
I think
Ram
that
Rush
they
here, they're set up
actually
really well.
saw
I think that Ram
Fingers
Rush
coming
would work
because
super
Scorpion
well
with that
against
turret
what
and
Japan's
that auto
running.
aim is an
And I think that they
effective
should
measure
swap to
against
that.
the double flankers. So a good preparation. I think Japan did their homework really, really well, and having Reaper on that as well also kind of.
Well, I can see how
eventually
Japan's comp
kind of
works against
fortifies
what Indonesia's
the idea
running.
That Japan was expecting the
Yes.
Winston double flankers. So good preparation from Japan. This is what the composition difference is. What's getting them the lead here.
Yeah, I think Japan did their homework and went step
Yeah,
forward.
for sure.
From that, having there's the turret gone now. Proxy did go down to that before Zekrom actually taken down from Corbinian shots. So that's early tank gone, and without the tank,
Oh, that was
Oh,
a good shot
Lord.
from Nico,
Oh,
and
bitch.
also double.
Japan's
from
shredding
Victor.
right now.
Of course, with the
Indonesia,
help of
Indonesia
all the-
really
all
needs
the teammates,
to
but
step,
still picking up.
like, change things up.
Both kills as a
Farah,
doesn't
interesting pick on the
happen
Farah. It's gonna be really
all
hard
that
to retake on
often.
the Farah.
Okay, Indonesia finally
Oh,
found
there
that
we go.
curveball they were looking for there.
Said
They're
hi
already
to
with
the,
pharmacy. Control
Torb real
Center
quick.
is not exactly the best map to play the pharmacy here, but they do feel that they need to go with this because they know that the Japanese composition doesn't have a lot of anti-air in them.
Yeah, the most anti-air they have
You
is
might
the
be
turret.
right, as we're seeing some shots being
Once they
fired
get rid of the
from
turret,
off
then
to the
Farah's a lot
side.
more comfortable.
Trying to target everyone.
But
inside, next to
turret
the
definitely is a
point.
bit of an issue.
But,
I guess you could also
Zekrom
consider
dead, but
Moira
yeah, the speed.
Okay.
a threat a little bit.
Pulse bomb from speed 75.
But we talked about this before. When you
Ooh.
have Farah or Echo, you have to consider about the other support, the backline, the members who are on the ground. And knowing that, Japan, they just ignored Farah at all.
So it is basically the same
Yeah, that's
concept
rough.
with the Farah and the Echo. If you have a Mercy if you're going to pair it with a Mercy, then that means your main forces is going to be at a numbers disadvantage. That means either that the forces in the
99%?
air need to do enough damage
Crazy.
to compensate that numbers disadvantage, but it is not the case for now, and that is why Japan, although they did allow the flip for a split second,
Moira fight! And with the Death Blossom, taking out the Tracer, still had all the
Big for
advantage.
Japan. Big for Japan.
Team Japan.
Yeah, you know,
secure that first.
Indonesia's comp just doesn't work as well there.
Yeah,
I think that
again,
Indonesia is going to
it's
have
split
an
for
easier
Japan,
time
exactly as
on
we
these other
have
two maps.
been expecting them to.
Specifically,
And
Tower.
even with
This map right
they
here.
even
This
surprised
map.
us with the
Specifically this
competition
map, I
which
think
was really
Japan's...
smart from Japan. It was a good
Indonesia's going to have a
idea.
lot
It
more of
was
an
a
easy
good idea
time
for
on.
them, in a sense
I think that
that,
Indonesia is
okay,
going to
we
do
know
well
that-
here.
we know what
It
their
looked like
plans
Japan
are.
was going to try to
They
run the
wanted
Ram
it.
Rush
It-
on
they
that
just
map, which...
single-handedly countered
not a
the
bad
Fingers
call.
with the Torbjorn, and also the Winston wasn't able to
Not a
do much
bad
because it
call,
was
because
deterred so much by
that
the
sim and
Reaper.
everything, it can be really good.
So
Uh,
it was a really good idea from
Indonesia,
Japan.
I wouldn't be
If
surprised if they
Indonesia wants
decided
play
to
the
whip
farm,
out the
this is
Farah.
probably the best map to play because this is going to be Gardens, but
Yeah.
Indonesia is
Oh, Gardens,
choosing
that's what it's
to go
called.
with the
Yeah.
double flank
There's
again.
Actually, go all the way. Zekrom.
The Farah would also be good just because Japan's going to rely on having that point a lot.
Matra going a little strong. Kiriko, first one to be down.
And you can capitalize on...
It's really interesting to see that how Japan
You can capitalize
really
on
goes so
how
easily.
Japan's comp works with the Farah. You can get
Just
lots
shows
of...
how good
you know, damage in, lots of free suppression and stuff like that. However, I will say their pick onto the Cassidy would be a bit of a problem for the Pharah, but I don't think it'd be big enough for them to not use Pharah at all.
Here is that opening. Maybe Indonesia was looking for a good hack on
Indonesia can do this, but Zekrom.
No further action means that
The death on
Cassidy
Zekrom,
has time to regroup.
brutal.
And Indonesia will just rotate to the side.
I really think that this is the map that Indonesia has the best chance on now.
Into the point and contest, but the entire team of Japan actually nearby. So Indonesia, either they make a long rotation towards the left or cross a bridge.
Yeah, Kuki again. It was Nico the.
Let's go. Monkey's in. Oh, he's almost dead already.
Right after seeing the double flankers, they are going straight to the Torbjorn.
Ooh, he's 1 health still. How is Zekrom still alive?
Okay, they take down Reaper, but Indonesia, they lost both of their support, and Zekrom is all the way back here because there's no support to heal him back up. Somehow he managed to stay alive, but now
Going to ooh, I don't think that Queen's the play.
Even Proxy is actually bringing Cassidy on his own.
You know, like,
I think Speed 75 is actually.
I think that this works a bit better than what they were running before, but I still don't think that Queen's the play. I think that Ram's just too strong against this right now. Especially considering the point control they have.
Specific value or counter to any specific hero on the side of Japan. However, I do think that it's just they just want a little bit more hit scan power.
Yeah, look at how much Ram's able to do against them.
Even with the changes from Indonesia, is winning these neutral fights, and they're not even using ults here, so it's going to be an uphill fight for Indonesia because Indonesia, if they want to win these fights with the ult disadvantage, they have to beat out the ultimates of Japan. And they're failing to do so because Japan's just winning the.
What? Okay, commit annihilation.
Want everyone back into the spawn. Yeah, she's not even scared.
Disrespectful.
Oh, might have overstepped a little bit, getting that cover.
This is it. Indonesia can win that fight.
Yes,
Oh, Speed died though.
I don't think there is anyone to.
First map goes to Japan. That is rough. That is rough.
Wow, what a show of dominance from the side of Japan. Yes, Indonesia did able to, in the end, bait out the ultimates from Japan, but Japan were willing to do so because they were so ahead in the point percentages. So even if they lost that fight, G-Clef, they would have been happy to give over the point because it was at least overtime, and they even won that fight.
Yeah, even with the Tracer
true.
and the Cassidy change was a little bit too late, I think, or else
Japan just had so much in their books that it was lost even if Indonesia won that point probably.
They were lost.
Like, well, Indonesia lost even if they won that fight, probably.
Of course, double flankers. Sombra Tracer, they're supposed to go somewhere else, the other three, but they can't be totally isolated. They have to be able to keep themselves so they can actually get supports, get healed, to cover for each other. That's what this game is all about. But Japan, in knowing that, okay, we don't see Sombra Tracer, okay, hey, supports, I hear you guys are just over there and doing nothing else, right? And they just dominated. They jumped on top, and it seemed like we have seen these type of play from Japan day 1, day 2, and again in day 3.
I really want to praise the preparation of Japan because they knew that, hey, Indonesia looked they looked best when they were running the Winston double flankers comp. So if we can break that apart,
they did.
Then they know because in the eyes of Japan, we know that we are the better team. So if we just shut down what Indonesia does best, then there's no other variable that can stop us from winning.
Yeah, that's true. Because Indonesia was looking super not comfy on anything that wasn't the Winston double flanker.
Japan knows what we're doing. Japan is countering what we're doing. So I do think
I hope that Indonesia picks a good map pick here.
Farah Mercy, I think the change
Numbani with Farah Mercy might be good.
A little bit of more logical choice than the Cassidy.
Or Echo Mercy on Numbani might be good if they want to pull that out.
I think the most important part is that they need to.
Yeah, Farah Mercy would have been a good change if they could have done that. If Indonesia could have done Farah Mercy, that would have been really good, especially on Gardens.
Maybe not with the double flanks.
I was thinking that would be really good. Farah would get a lot of free value with that. Even with the Cassidy around, like he just wouldn't be able to do enough to kill the Farah Mercy. He wouldn't be able to do enough.
But when the supports are in trouble, the monkey actually comes back and pops that barrier for the supports to survive, and those are the tank ability that keeps you on that top tier level where you can actually compete so much better against the other teams. But to criticize a little bit on Zekrom was not able to really keep himself alive, was always using the barrier without the supports too much. And I think that teamwork really has to come together. When the tank is buying that much time, either the DPS has to do something in trade, or else you're just going to fall. And without the tanks, you can only do so much.
Yeah, of course. It's just, I don't believe it's just the issue of Zekrom. It's more like the entire team. But yes, I do agree that Zekrom needs to stay alive a little bit longer. And whether it's
that's
Zekrom
true.
playing a little
Because
safer,
Winston was either exploding or the backline was exploding.
If that is going to be the case, maybe a rush comp who, when
they need to play a bit tighter,
cramped around the tank, maybe a little more effective on that. There are a lot of possibilities for.
They're too spread thin. Indonesia spreads themselves too thin.
Have the mechanical prowess to maybe try to put out a
Blizzard World.
series.
This works for them.
I just really hope that
this is a
can
good pick
adapt.
on Indonesia's behalf.
World.
Blizzard World
Yeah,
can work.
That Indonesia was actually able to push almost all the way right before that 3-pointer. They stopped like 5 meters before that. So
Let's see how this goes,
the best
chat.
push that they actually had on offense was great. The other way, not so much when they were flipped.
Exactly. So yeah, so just in case this is your first time watching, the loser gets to choose both the map type and the map. So I do believe that Indonesia wanted to pick a map that they had fond memories of, and Blizzard World in this tournament so far was the map that they had the best memories of. Like G-Clef mentioned, on that attack, on that offense versus Hong Kong, they almost made it to the full cap, and although they did lose this map to Hong Kong, it was the most competitive showing that they ever shown, especially with the double flankers. And also Blizzard World is
Let's
a map
go.
that we can still go
Listen, I'm believing in Indonesia's win here, okay?
This map choice makes sense for Indonesia.
They look comfortable with that double flanker Winston comp.
Well, I think they're like, okay.
I think that they can do here, and it definitely works on
it's
Blizzard
still
World.
manageable.
Yeah,
I think Japan's gonna think like that as well.
We'll see what happens. There's that Overlord.
And
And
so,
the fact that Indonesia has shown that on stage, Japan,
Cloud or Q Loud or whoever is gonna have the brig to protect them, but that is still something that Indonesia can capitalize on that back line.
And it looks like after
Or honestly, even the Symmetra.
he is going to change
Even the Symmetra,
to
because I feel like there's
so
gonna be some times where the Symmetra is gonna be caught out
the Winston double
on
flankers.
her
See,
own
Indonesia,
by surprise.
except
They
for
can really
supports,
capitalize on her.
And to be honest, I think that on the attack
Big
side,
hack on brig.
oh,
Oh no!
Never mind about the
What?
compositions because Nico's going brrr. And but Japan to go back on the compositions.
Oh Lord, Nico shredding them.
Tracer fight, sorry to cut you off there, but Nico
It's okay.
Tracer versus a Speed 75 Tracer, that was one of the highlights that I wanted to point out before, but here we have it.
Yo, my friend, who cares about compositions if Nico can fire and kill everyone
Where are
on
they
the point?
fighting?
They're fighting all the way in point B, and it is going to be an
That
early
is
point A
insane.
for Japan here.
Oh yes, they are.
I was talking about how Indonesia was looking strong with their comp compared to Japan's comp, but never mind, chat. That was brutal.
Wow, this is one of
Indonesia
the
made the
biggest
swap
tournaments
onto
in
the
Blizzard
Ana
World
instead
that
of
I've
the
seen in a
Kiri.
while,
I
and
think that's pretty
Japan,
good.
Although it is unofficial because it is not the Overwatch League, already holds a record for the fastest push for Gibraltar, off point Gibraltar. So this is a show of dominance. Once
Wait, was
again.
that a record for the
And
fastest push
I
on
wanted to say that
Gibraltar?
Indonesia's support line changed.
Oh wait, no, sorry, this isn't Gibraltar.
Support line
Oops.
that Japan has, and I think this is a superior backline
Oops.
for this composition. So swaps. One of the things about swapping back is that, well, they do have similar ult charges now. Maybe because they got a little bit more damage that dealt to them. But it is going to be a slower pace than Japan did because Nico already has that pulse bomb and
there's a
profits
stick.
with it.
And suddenly goes down Nico, the first pulse bomb landing. And perfect strike on it, and also gets G following up with the double flank.
Jesus. Japan's leaving them in shambles right now. They're just better at this comp than Indonesia is. Indonesia's coming up on lots of important ults, but Japan has those same exact
Indonesia
ults.
had that chance to use that Nano Monkey a little bit faster than Japan and make that stabilization happen, but no. Because of the heroics of the heroics of Nico, they got the support line of the Indonesia down, and they just steamrolled into.
What is happening here, chat? Indonesia has EMP, so does Japan. Whoever can engage here with EMP first, I think, wins it.
The payload is actually all
But they could counter EMP.
which means this is a 4v5.
And still
Japan used EMP.
How is this happening?
Oh, KSG! KSG got out alive, though. Indonesia still has their EMP, so that's still a win condition. Indonesia still has a couple of ults that they can win this with. Japan has both their support ults, though, and they're coming up on their bomb. It's honestly winnable in either case here, but Japan's been doing such a good job of engaging, I think that they're going to win it.
Nothing else to do.
Indonesia, Proxies needs to look for an EMP here. Did Proxies almost just fall off the map?
At this point, there is
what happened?
There's no next fight because if you
okay, Proxies really needs to look for an EMP here.
There's no sunset.
Okay.
Big EMP.
Taking down Chalny again.
Oh.
And Mint with that rally. Oh, who cares about the fight? Because the
that is brutal.
And 4 minutes.
How the fuck are they gonna come back from this?
What a massive time bank.
How the fuck are they gonna do this?
Have to get the final
Japan has so much time to work with. That's unbelievable. How is Indonesia gonna be even close to being able to do this?
I actually lost track of that.
It's possible. It's just gonna be really difficult. They have to. There is very little room for error here. Very little room for error.
This is a highlight reel. This is basically a highlight reel from Nico there. We haven't mentioned Nico.
Rough. This is rough, chat.
Even while we were casting Overwatch Contenders APAC G-Clef, we couldn't. Excuse my language, but we couldn't shut up about Nico because Nico is so good. He made the heroics. He made the.
Yeah, Nico's a good-ass player.
Entire series. That was losing to winning.
Don't forget about KSG now. KSG's also good. We've seen some good stuff from KSG. His survivability has been crazy compared to Zekrom.
We knew that. It was always pretty talented on that.
It's been absolutely. He's been absolutely incredible.
But Indonesia does not really, not matching up the power level at the moment, and but it was their defense now that Indonesians. So offense, can they actually push all the way just like Japan?
It'll be definitely a tall task. Kuki is there to scout the composition of what Indonesia is running. Indonesia is still running the Winston double flanker comp. I think if Indonesia wants to run this comp, then Speed 75 has to.
There we go.
Speed 75 has to go.
The hack on the Chenli. Chenli almost got destroyed there.
Has to follow Nico
but they do have a very mobile backline, and they have a backline that is capable of dealing with Japan's flankers pretty well. So that's pretty big. Indonesia's already looking good in this fight. Got rid of QKI.
That is a start. KSG very, very low as well. If KSG falls,
big kill into KSG. Nico and Mint with the kills though. Japan's gonna have numbers advantage just because the Sombra's coming back in. They're getting out. Indonesia's getting out. I don't think that that's a bad move there. I don't think that that's a bad move. I think that that's a good one.
Japan went on full bloodthirsty mode and they made all the kills happen. So Indonesia had to full reset. G-Clef.
Yeah, we thought it was okay.
Ana's been doing a good job of getting ult charge.
Testing around the point. There is also KSG, both Winstons.
Good anti! Oh, big Suzu's though.
It forces the Suzu out, so that means KSG.
Like I said, good backline, very survivable backline.
But not catching the kill.
Chinli has to be careful of those hacks. Those hacks are brutal on Chinli. Shrimp's gone. That's the majority of their heals gone. Primal's a good call there just because of the heals being gone and, you know, Japan's backline being vulnerable. Oh, Lord. This is unfortunate. Indonesia, like, these fights have been super scrappy, and Indonesia's just been barely losing them.
We have the snipe.
I believe. Listen, they can still win this, especially because they're coming up close on EMP and everything. But it's gonna be rough.
absolutely need to use. So this means that even though Indonesia are using the ults to try to make it an opening for this fight, Japan wins. Not only do they win, but they have more ultimates that they can spare. For right now, Cloud has the nano that they can use to KSG. After that nano, KSG will be probably having that Primal Rage, and the EMP will be online.
Yeah, Q-Loud right next to the DPS. Grom again jumps. Has to be a little bit
Crazy
careful, 'cause
stuff.
Every single time he's in the air, he's
The
already
early
hacked.
EMP there denying the sound barrier from
Indonesia,
Chun-Li.
this is a chance. Oh, but the response back from Japan is pretty good. Okay, there's speed. He's just stick down and get the kill.
Okay, so both heroics from both DPS
But
lineups
there's Nico.
here.
Crazy
But
stuff
Indonesia,
right now.
This has
Oh,
to
Tracer duel. Who wins? Who wins?
That's so close. We call Zuri.
Both of them at the same time.
Got the health back. Oh, Nico with the heals.
This is okay.
Okay.
Remember
That
the
was a
draw.
Okay, this is
crazy
Draw, we call
1v1.
it a draw, okay?
They were both close to dead there.
Okay,
That was
Chun-Li
crazy.
is finally using that sound barrier. Nico is nanoed and has that extra
Zekrom.
damage on his pocket.
Zekrom and Shrimp
Japan
down.
is driving Indonesia out of their point once
This has
again.
been unfortunate. Shrimp and Zekrom. Shrimp, Zekrom, and Chun-Li have been dying early in these fights a lot.
And the time is
For
now
Indonesia.
only 35 seconds only available for the last push potential, but no ult available whatsoever. The only thing that might be charged up is Primal Rage.
So this is going to be last fight territory for Indonesia. Japan has Nico's Pulse Bomb, who has been on point so far, and KSG has that Primal Rage to push anyone out.
Yeah, well, there
Early
goes Chun-Li.
kill to
Shrimp's about to go
Shrimp is
down.
perilously low, and it looks like Indonesia's hopes are fading out.
There,
10
okay.
seconds now. No
Yep.
support,
Oh,
no take.
Lord.
Speed
Nico
crosses
just
left.
doesn't give up.
Okay, there
What can
is
they
a sneaky
do?
touch from
Okay, that's one tick, but you need a lot more than that. And
Is there anyone to contest?
Proxy.
Might be able to get another touch. Oh,
no,
it's over.
And that is going to be it. Japan.
Japan
taking
gets
the
that.
third
That is
world.
crazy.
Wait,
Only 30-something
and
minutes into the
Andy,
stream, and
that's
if I'm being
2-0.
honest, I think that most of the,
First two and
like, at least half of the
Japan
stream was, like, not
again.
even the games.
Yeah,
Another day for
3
Japan.
wins now in the pocket for Japan. What a dominant performance from Japan. We knew that Japan was going to be very good coming into this match. However, in the manner that they displayed,
They were so
dominated their
dominant.
opponents was very,
Japan
very
was so
impressive.
dominant over
And,
Indonesia.
again, we can't praise them enough. Nico's heroics, we've seen a lot of good things. Even the preparations, like the
Crazy
coaching staff
shit.
must have put in a lot of hours
Uh-huh.
researching what Indonesia does well, how to, even though if we are the better team, we are going to beat you not just in mechanics, but also in strategy, which is very respectable. And also the execution, Nico's Tracer, KSG's Winston, and Cloud's Anna. Like, not just those, but the entire team was so on point, and it looks like they were on the same page. This team is very, very scary.
Yep. Team Japan seems to be the one on top, and I'm happy because I got what I wanted. Nico versus Speed 75 on that Tracer 1v1. Well, it was tied.
That was a crazy 1v1. That was really
That
cool to
fight
see,
for
for
like
real.
15 seconds.
Yeah, that Tracer 1v1 was a
That was-
treat to watch.
That was
it
intense.
was full of suspense, and
Uh-huh.
it was full of action.
Yeah, it was
cool to
awesome,
watch,
for
but
real,
Japan
chat. That was
doesn't make it
awesome.
all, but Indonesia getting no maps whatsoever again. Can they really come back in next week's play? We'll have to see so far. But Japan, for now, they will be actually the first place in the group because they already played 3 matches all the days so far. And putting up, I guess, that makes them +6. Can't
Yep,
be plus
plus
7,
6.
of course.
Math.
and I was in math major. Of course, I did not graduate. That's for a reason. Yeah, and that was our first match, guys. But don't go anywhere because you know what the next match is going to be? It's going to be Hong Kong versus South Korea.
Oh man,
Gonna be a big
I'm-
match.
I'm hyped up for this match.
You-
Like I've been
you
waiting
have to
for.
be here.
Like I have a little bit of bias, I'll admit, but we can't deny.
can't be
Nobody
biased.
can deny that Korea is looking really, really good, and we are talking about the best caliber teams here. Sometimes, because if you just look at the
Korea's
lineup,
crazy
we definitely
good.
will see the lineup later today. But if you just look at the entire roster, we have Sparkle and Lip at the DPS position, Hanbin and Fearless on the tank, Chio Fielder, support, and Finn on the bench. Like, we have Finn on the bench. Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, That bench is
That
going to be
is an
pretty hot. But before we
insane,
jump into that match,
insane
number 2, guys, we have to take a
fucking
short break, and when we come back, a
lineup.
huge match between South Korea and Hong Kong.
Unbelievable. Can't wait to see this. It's gonna be so awesome. Japan was crazy good here. Indonesia was really close to some cool fight wins. And I don't, like, I think that Indonesia, like, they put up as good of a fight as they could have. Right? Obviously, there's lots of room for improvement, and Japan was definitely much more dominant in this game, but Indonesia wasn't completely out of it. Like, they showed that they could win fights and that they can beat teams like Japan every once in a while, which is a big deal. Alright, chat. Time for us to wait a little bit for the next one. So, I'm thinking let's look at the lineup of, South Korea and Hong Kong real quick. Let's check this out. Teams. APAC A. Let's look at Hong Kong. Rec, I've seen Rec before. I don't think I've seen any of these other players, honestly. So I can't really say much on Hong Kong, but I've heard that they're good. I've heard that they're real good. They're real solid. And this is going to be a competitive game from what I can tell. Okay. APAC A, South Korea. Insane lineup. Fielder, Chio, Fearless, Sparkle, Lip, Hanbin, Finn. Oh my god. Fearless and Hanbin, okay, are your tanks, first of all. Okay, you have Lip and Sparkle on damage. Okay? And those play, like, amazing off of one another, right? You can get the Sparkle to play the, like, flankers. You can get Lip to play, like, hit scan and stuff, right? They're really right. If Finn is on your bench, your lineup is top tier. Like, some of the best that you can possibly have. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Not only do you have amazing players on your team, but you have seasoned players. Players that are seasoned in Overwatch League. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd be surprised if Korea didn't win, honestly. I'd be surprised if Korea didn't take first place in this entire group. Let's look at how the group is looking. APAC Group A. Okay, because we just looked at Group B. We're looking at Group A now. Hong Kong 2 wins. Okay. Japan 2 wins. Okay. South Korea this is going to be their second game, and it's going to be going up against Hong Kong. So this is going to determine who goes above the other one, I think. Maybe? Yeah, it will. It's going to determine who goes above the other one. So that's going to be sick to see. Indonesia lost another game. That is unfortunate. Has Indonesia, Chinese Taipei, well, Taiwan, I guess. Has Indonesia, Taiwan, and Philippines gone up against one another yet? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like they have. It seems like they've only gone up against Hong Kong, Japan, and South Korea. A bit unfortunate for them, but, you know, it is what it is. Group B's looking a lot more competitive. APAC Group B's looking a lot more competitive, I'm not gonna lie. This one looks pretty, like, half of the teams are strong and then the other half are not super strong. I can't wait to see, like, a lot of the European teams go up against one another today, chat. Well, European and other countries as well, not just in Europe, but yeah. Like, these teams are... These matchups are honestly insane. Saudi Arabia's been doing amazing. Norway's also been doing amazing. Germany's not out of this yet. Neither is Poland, honestly. Poland can still... Hey, the dream for Poland's still alive, chat. The dream for Poland's still alive. Portugal. Italy. Italy's at the bottom? Damn. Belgium's at the bottom? Oh, okay, this is crazy when Belgium's at the bottom. Netherlands, Great Britain, they're both fighting for that middle position. Denmark, Spain, France at the top in this. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, Mario, how's it going? Mario, you missed the Australian game not long ago. I was just looking at... So right now we're in APAC Group A. We finished the APAC Group B games, which was pretty insane to see. I'm excited for Friday because India and Australia are going to go up against one another, which is going to be a crazy matchup. I think that's going to be super competitive and cool to watch. But right now we're about to see South Korea go up against Hong Kong. And as you can see, those two teams are like some of the best in APAC Group A. South Korea might just be the best team in this entire thing. Okay? They might just be the best team in this entire thing because they have... I'm not sure if Finn is an Overwatch League player, but other than that, like, all Overwatch League players in South Korea, it's insane. They have an absolutely, like, fucking crazy goddamn lineup. So seeing South Korea play is going to be really awesome. I'm super excited to see them come up soon. But yeah, and I'm excited to get into the European games, okay? Epic groups, those are awesome. You bet they're gonna win? Yeah, my money's on South Korea, but Hong Kong looks like a good team too now. Okay, so we don't want to count them out yet, but I think that South Korea is gonna win because like they have possibly the best roster you can have in like this entire thing. I think that USA is looking really good, so I think that it's gonna be between South Korea, USA, and either France or Spain for the top 3 overall, honestly. Because all of those teams are looking, like, really robust. But I will say Saudi Arabia has been making a name for themselves. They have been insanely good. Saudi Arabia has been crazy. They've been absolutely crazy.
Welcome back, everyone, to APAC Group A. You're watching Overwatch World Cup qualifiers, and the teams that you have waited for, they're here, and this is going to be the final match of the day for us. It's going to be Hong Kong versus South Korea, and they have been displaying some fine Overwatch moments so far.
Is it Saudi Arabia anti-LGBT? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the members are.
Only been played once. So.
But still 100%.
Except for pulling the Widow.
Yeah, but still 100%. No, I'm joking. I'm teasing you. But
you know what I mean?
You're saying that to a stat.
Like, you can't deny the talent that Saudi Arabia has.
All right, I can't argue with that, but hey.
Not enough database, okay?
I do agree that Korea and Hong Kong is going to be a very interesting match because Hong Kong is still undefeated so far.
And they deserve a place in the World Cup, you know?
For map differential, they are going through a very big test in the form of South Korea right now. And I think Hong Kong, although they are not necessarily the favorites for this match, I think it is going to be a good testing grounds for Hong Kong for their power levels because To me personally, Hong Kong is going to be the favorites for that third place in this group. And even if they qualify, they are going to play against very tough opponents. And this is going to be a good test of how they can adapt to stronger opponents. And maybe, who knows, maybe they can pull out something and pull out a miracle.
Here we go, chat.
This is going to be
gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
If they do, it'll be a mark in history for sure, because this
You have to play all the cock rock during these.
the roster that you see on the screen.
Oh
right now,
my god! Look at this lineup! Holy shit!
Sparkle, Fearless, Fielder, Chio. Oh man.
Wow, this
Remember
roster
that?
is-
I still remember that the push from Chio to get the pulse bomb from the shield to get the kill onto
on
the opponent
Ruins,
Tracer
yes.
was crazy.
What's wrong with the
And I
lineup?
know that highlight has
Nothing.
been going around for the last few days.
That's why I'm going fucking nuts
Well, this
over it. It's
roster is really
insane.
exciting. It is once again mentioning that this is full of
These are all Overwatch League players. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
XM and the Overwatch League, Sparkle, Fearless, all champions from Dallas Fuel. Sparkle still with the Dallas Fuel, and Fearless on the Houston
Oh
Outlaws. who
my
is the winner
god,
of the
these
MSM
does.
So these are all high top tier talent, and
Yeah,
also
literally
the
top tier
rules
talent.
are so flexible that they can play anything. They can play any compositions that's viable in this meta right now. Lip has been playing
Mario, you want to know what was really
Tracer,
funny about the contenders? Well, not the contenders, the
and
World
he
Cup
is
group
known
that
for his
Australia was in.
soccer as well.
They kept
So
playing like this Australian
it enables this team to
McDonald's
play so
ad
many
after
things.
every
And
match.
here we have
And like they
Hong
kept
Kong,
they had like
Spirit,
McDonald's
Goldie,
interviews with tons of like
RPK,
McDonald's
RPK,
puns.
and Crazy.
It was
So
really
Mango
weird
Jai
to
is
see.
not going to
Oh, that's
start.
right.
I guess
Mango Jai.
I guess that Australia just likes McDonald's a lot. Yeah, it was really weird. Like McDonald's sponsors the World Cup. The McDonald's sponsors the World Cup, but they knew to like hammer in the sponsorship on Australia because like I don't know, Australia just like Macca's a lot.
Might feature here. R3K is really interesting. Well, R3K is the only tank of Hong Kong right now, but have been showing Junker Queen and Ramattra. So maybe.
But yeah, it's something about Overwatch
in
in Australia, in Australian McDonald's, but like they're super close for some reason. I don't necessarily get it. It's a little weird in my opinion.
And one also,
Okay.
one important thing, G-Clef, Xiaolan is not starting.
How did you know? I was about to point that out. You stole it from me. No, but yeah, it's the spare right there. Maybe they're considering a few other options. I think these are hints. No Charlian, no Mango Jai. So no.
They're definitely
Let's
for
go.
sure-
something here.
You ready for this fucking
for
match?
sure, no Nano Blade, and maybe they're considering some Echo, some Pharah, as we have seen as. Pharmacy.
I'm glad that you're able to join in and see this match,
Great
Mario,
work
because this match is
from
going to
the
be
other
fucking
regions.
awesome.
Maybe it's a start for APAC.
Okay, and Nepal is actually, you might be up to something here, G-Club, because Nepal is a map, especially on Village, that
course.
Pharmacy has been a favorite for a while. Even so, even in the Overwatch League, there have been a lot of pharmacies in Nepal in Village. So, but what happens if there isn't Village? So maybe that's a gamble. Maybe maybe Team Hong Kong is looking for something else. But one thing is for sure, Hong Kong has been preparing for something that we have not been expected, because we have been expecting Xiaolan to start. We have been expecting Mango Jai to start. So we'll definitely see. I'm excited to see
Life
what
Weaver!
we have in store for us.
Keep the dream alive! Fielder play Life Weaver!
See what we have on both sides.
Oh, keep the Life Weaver on. Come on, please. Don't take this away from me. Don't take this away from me. Don't you dare troll me.
Maybe
No!
Charlian,
No!
and
The
Zin, and
Life
also
Weaver's
RP.
gone.
The
What
player,
the
I think
fuck,
a lot of the teams
chat?
are finding out,
I wanted to
especially
see
on
the
this
Life
match, that
Weaver
Laura is
so
actually
bad.
or
I want
in
it so bad.
PS lines.
Yeah, so Mora, the basic
the foul.
idea about Mora is that you want to go into their faces and do a lot of damage, and also do a lot of healing, AOE healing up front. But hey, look at this!
Oh, Hong Kong.
Really
Korea
strong
is
from
the
Hong
one
Kong,
that
but
is actually
I like
far
South Korea's
away
comp here a
teleported.
bit more.
So the composition is actually in favor of South Korea, because Hong
They
Kong
can
doesn't
poke
have
the
any
hell out of
here.
Hong Kong. Oh yeah.
And there's a
Oh
lot of
my
damage.
god!
Sparkle, you are a happy man right now.
Look at that. Oh! Why are they grouping up like that?
There's a double kill already with that one rocket.
Oh my.
It's just like,
goodness.
you know, they're all grouped on point,
Madman,
and
that is such a
South Korea's able to like encase them entirely, and they make it so that like they're all like Hong Kong's so grouped up that Sparkle just
11% from
obliterates
Hong
them with the
Kong, but
rockets.
split, and
That
let's
was
see if they ever can get back
beautiful to
from South
watch.
Korea now,
You see,
and
this is why I like South Korea's
Raj
comp
and
more.
Viewer ultimate
This is
sync
why I like
charts,
South Korea's comp more
78,
because
66,
Hong,
so they're pretty high
Hong Kong is
percentages.
so dependent
Okay, so I
on
understand what Hong Kong was thinking.
the
I think
team
thought process
to
was
have
they
to
want
like
to-
be on that point together,
You got one, but they did a lot more.
and South Korea's able to poke them out while they get to that point, and once they get on that point, South Korea can just encase them. And the very second that Hong Kong tries to get out of that point, South Korea can just like capitalize on them. So like they're just like stuck in this box that they're doomed to explode from the pressure that South Korea just places on them for so long. Hong Kong's best bet is to go onto point, cap it, and hope to get enough of percentage before they eventually die. Because I think that South Korea is going to win most of these fights just from their composition alone.
Now, so South Korea, technically they're still losing, but in terms of ult charges
for how
and the
long?
management, it seems a little better still to me. And we'll
To
see.
be honest, I think that
Oh, you see this right here? All this poking they're doing? And then they get to point, and they're able to stabilize, but for how long, right? Because they're being encased by all these flankers and everything, and by the Pharah.
Not as bad, actually.
It's like, how long can they keep this up for?
Point flipped again for Hong Kong.
You love how I'm hyped with the Overwatch World Cup? Yeah, no, World Cup is so sick. But like, no, like, listen, I say that Overwatch sucks at all the time, but look at this. Like, this makes the game look so beautiful. Like, playing the game at high level, like, it makes you realize, like, how good of a game Overwatch could be.
Good nade from the side of Fielder. However, it does not lead to any kills, and actually Hong Kong.
Yeah, but still, the percentages going up for Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is doing really well, though, on this.
South Korea?
Oh, you see, okay, so that was a good ante onto the Lucio. Yeah, okay, that ended up flipping the point. I was gonna say they could have hit a bit of a better ante if they would have just waited a couple seconds.
But you know, with the teleport,
It was a little more conservative with the nade, but I think that they were concerned with losing their opportunity and making it so that like Hong Kong could eventually like shield them and stuff and protect the team against getting anti. I completely understand that. I completely understand that. So all things considered, maybe the best they could do with the anti, it did end up helping them win the fight. So that is brutal. Oh my god, you see what I mean? Like if they aren't able to get that TP on the point, they just crumble because of all of the poke that South Korea has. Like literally, what can they do against that Pharah? Literally, what can they do against that Pharah? They don't have anything that can go against that Pharah.
Make sure that there is a roof so that Sparkle can't fire 360 degrees.
Hey, oh no. Look at those numbers on the right for Hong Kong.
And she's able to get so much ult charge because of this. Like, look, she's already at Barrage. Look at all of the ultimates that South Korea has.
93, and can you have anyone near the point? Oh, Creamy's dead. No teleporter available anymore.
I said bye. Damn. You know, South
South
Korea, the better team and better composition there. But Hong Kong, okay, considering their composition and everything, Hong Kong with the 77% on that point, that was pretty crazy. Now, I think that South Korea's comp is going to be better on this map as well, but honestly, Hong Kong's comp is going to look stronger on this map than it was on the second one. If they were able to get 70%, well, than it was on this first one. If they were able to get 77% there on the first map, they should be able to pull it through on the second map. They should be able to. So, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen here. Pulling out the Junker Queen, interesting choice. I would think that the Rhine would be better here, but maybe the Junker Queen, you know, the Junker Queen isn't bad.
Surprising us here.
With the Mei and everything, honestly, I think that they have the wall. They don't need the shield as much. So, this should be good.
Okay, here is the Lip Sombra we've been waiting for. The Lip Sombra that
they also, like, South Korea also doesn't have anything to cleanse Junker Queen's ult, so she can get a lot of value with it. Big wall off on the Ana. They weren't able to capitalize on it.
first cap.
Name the most boring esports I've ever seen. Probably CS:GO esports. Or like Valorant esports, but that's just because I think like those game formats are a bit boring. Like they're like super boring to watch, I think. The thing with Overwatch is that even if you don't know what is going on, it's just so action-packed and crazy that it's entertaining to watch. You know? Hong Kong wins this! Wait, Fearless getting a couple kills though. Wait a second, they commit the EMP? Hold on, no way they win this. Okay, yeah, there's no way they win that. But Hong Kong did lose a lot. Oh my god, wait! South Korea flips that. Oh no, Hong Kong's coming back with the ults. They're not letting them cat. Hong Kong already got 50% on the point, that's really big.
Putting pressure on Fielder, but Fielder does manage to survive, and Sparkle has that copy and will be wanting to use this.
Oh lord, oh lord, the backline's caught in a bad position.
Yeah, they can back off. It's already 60% from Hong Kong. There's that Blossom.
Oh my god, South Korea wins that. That was a crazy point. It was really scrappy. It was really scrappy. South Korea was ultimately better with the regroup. I think Hong Kong just their backline were just caught a little too out of position. They got a little too low.
71%, and no other team has even come close to that number on control.
Teams are looking pretty even on the ults here, but I think that Hong Kong's has better. Hong Kong's gonna have better engaging ults. I think that they're gonna be able to engage a bit better.
Yes, here is
going in with the beat.
Early sound barrier, and Fielder is responding with
Rampage on the back.
Big kill. That was a very expensive fight for Hong Kong. They used everything. But you know what? South Korea used everything as well. Oh, they lose it. That is brutal.
From South Korea is not dying.
Yeah, somehow Fielder, I think, was still able to survive.
Really? You know, Hong Kong had a good fight there. They were up for a while. What do I think of one-shot weapons on COD? Not the... I still think that it's annoying and a bit broken, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world because time to kill on COD's so low. Time to kill on COD's so low, you know?
And they're gathering, trying to chase that.
And like, especially taking into consideration like how the snipers and everything work in the battle royale modes, I think that it's fine in the battle royale modes, especially.
However, the backline for South Korea was so sturdy.
I would prefer them not have one shots, but I don't think that it's the worst thing in the world considering how weapons work in COD usually.
On ground, by the way. And you still have that.
The reason why I get so pissed off with one-shot weapons in games like Halo and Overwatch is because the time to kill is pretty high, right? Time to kill is high in both of those games, so if you have one-shot weapons, it makes them extra broken. Like the difference is extra noticeable.
It's not going to be an easy fight because ultimates are in the favor of South Korea. There is that Jugger Queen.
Oh,
big EMP.
And the tank's gone.
Oh, South Korea wins this.
The Spear is fighting for his life.
You know, Hong Kong, even though South Korea wins this, PTSD for one-shot kills, yeah, a little bit. Even though South Korea ended up picking this up, which I was expecting. Hong Kong gave them a run for their money. 77% on first point and 71% on second point. That was really big. And even in the fights where South Korea won, I didn't never feel like they were super duper one-sided. For the most part, it was so cool to see that match. I think that, okay, so Hong Kong gets the map pick here. I think that they can pick something that plays to their strengths and kind of like plays to South Korea's weaknesses a little bit. I think that they have a possibility of winning the second map here.
There were some moments where they wanted.
This is very fun to watch. I agree. This matchup is awesome.
Especially at the beginning of the both control match.
This matchup is awesome.
Hong Kong, they literally pinned down on that right point. They had the teleport.
This is why I love World Cup, right? Because you're taking Hong Kong, which is a team that doesn't have many Overwatch League players, and putting them against a team like South Korea, where literally the entire team is Overwatch League players, and you're seeing that they're putting up a good fight. Like, if you took Hong Kong and you gave them a good coach and put them up against South Korea, they could win, right? They could win. And
which Hong
and,
Kong
like,
will have type
it's
selection
it's
in
showing that
match.
there's talents
I
out there that
think
aren't a part of
that
Overwatch
maybe
League that
maps
could
like Shambolic,
easily
where
be
they
put in the
won't
Overwatch
have
League
as much win
and
streak,
perform
because
well.
it
And that's why I like
arguably
World
will
Cup
be
so
the
much,
only
right?
tank on the side of
You're
Hong Kong.
seeing lots
They
of these
can
like lesser known
things their
people
way.
coming up,
Although
and they
it's
could
being
po-
South- it doesn't mean
and it's
that
a good
South
job to
Korea
be
can't
scouted for.
play
They could be
those
scouted for
maps.
Overwatch
It's
League
just
and
that
possibly put in
they-
those teams,
Hong Kong will
and
need every
people can make a
advantage that they
career
need,
out of
and
it.
They will be able to set that up.
Yeah, there will be a lot of.
Why is
potential-
Trump or
potential maps
Biden
and plays
2024
coming out from
on
Hong Kong,
recommended
and South Korea,
channels?
I think there's
I have
still
no
room for them
clue.
to actually try a few more things.
Is that in
I'm pretty
recommended
sure we're going to be
channels?
seeing, maybe not on after trying
For-
a lot of those out in the control. Maybe not for the second
Damn,
map,
it's because I have
as
pink
they
hair. It's because my
did
existence
feel
is political,
somewhat
so
more
you know.
pressure from Hong Kong, what they were able to
Unfortunate.
do, the pressure was certainly there. And you
Ads,
could
I
realize
assume.
in the middle or after a minute or minute and a half into the map, they're saying, okay, we have to take this seriously now and just literally just go all the way out and bring our best. Like Sparkle at that moment, well, Sparkle, especially on that Echo, was just
Yeah,
putting on the right
Sparkle
target.
was not
Again.
just on the Echo with the Pharah as well. He was phenomenal and putting out all that damage, and his ult charges were just unbelievable.
Yeah, this
I
was
thought his
crazy
I
stuff.
thought his lobby settings were a little weird. I thought his ult charge was like 200%. But no, but that's just joking. He's just a wonderful player. I also want to give praise to the Korean backline, like Chio and Fielder. They were not dying. There was this fight on the second round that I think Hong Kong had 4 ults, and then they kind of invested wholly into the fight. And although Fielder did eventually fall, Chio, like the Chio Fielder backline, just refused to fall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no.
they provided enough sustain to
Chio and Fielder are
overcome that
crazy
ult
good
deficit,
support
and that was
players.
really, really impressive. And I think that is one of the reasons why South Korea is.
It is
considered one of
insane
the
how
best
good
teams
those
in the
two
world.
are.
Yeah, and one of my favorite moments was when the Spares May was just staying near the back room, not even contesting. Okay, guys, take the map. Okay, I lost the rest of the members, and I don't want to die again. Just leave me alone for 5 seconds, okay? And that was the end of Nepal there.
It's also
A lot
crazy
of
seeing
good
how
things.
differently
Actually, also
the
some,
different
trials
regions
from Hong
play,
Kong,
chat.
too,
Like,
because they're trying
and
to spare
and
for the first
this,
time and also RP for the first
even
time
on
instead of
maps
having
where
to
you would
die.
think that the
So
Ram
maybe
Rush
they'll
comp would
stick
be better to play,
depending on
you're
the
gonna
map,
see
they
lots
might
of
stick
teams
to,
pick the monkey.
this roster,
Uh,
starting roster from Hong Kong.
Lots
or you
of
might see
lots
some
of
coming in later on.
Yeah, so it looks like the
lots
map
of
is
teams
called
from
King's
Asia
Row.
and stuff
I
like
think
that.
this is our
They
first King's Row.
love playing
If I'm
monkey.
not mistaken.
They'll
Or
choose
not.
playing
Or
monkey
not
so
mistaken.
much,
Yeah,
they're
so
super
they-
comfortable with the
yes,
character.
at least for today.
And
I
they
don't
make it
think
work.
I've seen any
They make it work,
King's
even in
Row
situations
on
where you feel like, I don't know about the
World
monkey
Cup,
here.
at
Like,
least
they
on
make it
10K,
work.
because
Name
a
a
lot of
battle
teams
pass I ever
were
bought on
opting
any
to go
game.
for a lot
I've
of
bought
Blizzard
literally
World
every
instead of
single
King's
battle
Row.
pass in
King's Row
Overwatch.
is an interesting choice.
2.
Winston
I have
is
a
playable
problem.
here. Ram Rush is also playable here.
I have a
I
problem.
don't think it'll be a lot of Junker Queen that much, but
King's
you
Row
know,
here on the maps, by the
I
way.
do think that in this
Comfort
case,
pick
Xiaolan should
for,
be coming in
you
back
know,
because Genji,
a lot of teams.
is
I think that
a
Hong
viable pick
Kong
here,
doesn't
and
want
if I
Korea
remember correctly,
succeeding with
Xiaolan
that dive comp as
also
much
had
as
some fond
possible.
memories and contenders APAC.
You've never
yes.
bought any game.
Certainly
You've never bought
did,
any battle
with
pass on
Hanzo,
any game at all.
with few
Good
other
for
heroes,
you.
and now,
Good for
though,
you.
Even for the first point,
You haven't
we'll
fallen victim
did
to
see
the
from the attacking side, some
oppressive
initial
battle
Widowmakers,
pass
but, especially after the patch, it's not. I don't
format.
think it's happening too often anymore. And okay, talking
yeah.
about Hong Kong.
Xiaolan
subs now.
is subbed
yeah,
in.
Xiaolan is coming in ready to back
Is
in
subbed
as
in
well.
instead of
RTK is
Despair.
covering
That makes a lot of
jungle that
sense.
I've been
If
saying
Xiaolan's
that
comfortable on the
viable
Hanzo, that makes a
here,
lot of sense.
but
Because
hey,
Hanzo's going to
good
be
as RTK,
really good on this map.
maybe Jungle Queen works as
Imagine
well.
if
It
there's
is
a
going to be
ball sack
challenge
pass.
to-
Oh my
good
god.
initial lead
And
here, and the
anti-nade
hack.
to start off.
Oh!
Yes.
HP.
Did you
But,
see how quickly
that's
Lip
the
almost
point,
died there?
We'll be having a hard time getting access to the high ground. Will be up to Xiaolan and Crew.
Fearless Fearless on the monkey here. You see how they're making this monkey comp work here? You would think that the
and Hong Kong definitely has to
the
Shio is bloodthirsty.
the Junker Queen and everything would be better on this map. But no, South Korea just makes this monkey comp work. But with the way that they play, like They use lots of natural cover. They utilize the high ground. They capitalize on hacks. They section people off. It's really interesting how they play. Like if you see this, like Hong Kong's gonna have to play super group together, but look at how spread out South Korea is. They're so spread, and they just slowly whittle away at people, and they section them off, and they utilize their abilities to take down Hong Kong instead of going at them. Because if they go at them without utilizing their abilities and whittling them down and sectioning them off, then they're gonna explode. It's looking a little dangerous here for South Korea. Yeah, that's a big pick. Yeah, Hong Kong's gonna win this. Really big play from Hong Kong there. A really good deflect on the anti. Got that anti onto South Korea's backline, and that ended up making them win the fight.
Around the corner. Maybe.
Okay, yes, there is that EMP.
Ooh, big EMP for Korea.
It gives them enough time to contest, and Mangojai uses the Kitsune rush.
Oh, C9.
Korea was not able to touch in time for that test.
Unfortunate. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Yeah.
Good
on them for not investing any more ults. Hong Kong's ult economy is already looking super good compared to South Korea's. Hong Kong is going to be able to win the next fight or two because of their ult economy being so much better. Have I ever seen a Torb in World Cup at all? Yeah, the matchup before this, there was some Torb gameplay. I think that Japan played some Torb. It was either Japan or who did they go up against? Did they go up against Indonesia? One of those two teams played a little bit of Torb. You see Torb played sometimes. Torb ain't bad. Torb ain't bad. I think that there's a lot of stronger picks, but he's definitely workable.
Rally here, I don't think they have enough sustain.
Yeah, Genji was hacked for a second against the Sombra there, but still surviving. Charlene all the way up on top. Doesn't get Fearless. Oh, looking for that kill. Runs away.
Mangojai very low and hacked.
You see, okay, you can get Fielder here, but you're sacrificing being out of the fight for so long whenever Fielder was just gone for so much time. Hong Kong still ends up winning this, but still, that could have been a detrimental fail. That could have been a big fail on the point of Hong Kong.
Okay,
because, you know, Fielder's going to be out of the point for so long, grabbing those health packs. You capitalize on that. You capitalize on that. And you just, like, go hard on South Korea, because they don't have their tank, which is, like, their most important player.
With Lip
is low, but not down.
Ooh.
Okay.
You see how quickly people can die here? If you're just a little bit late on reaction time, you just get obliterated.
And it's finally going to stabilize for South Korea. However, still, Hong Kong has a lot of ults at their disposal. South Korea only has...
This is a crazy competitive match.
Which is not going to be
These teams are fucking nuts.
To pull all of those Qs.
All four ready to go and crazy.
Yeah, look at how many ults that Hong Kong has compared to South Korea.
I'm pretty sure they are
South Korea's coming up on their nano. South Korea, they need if they EMP Nano Monkey, I think that they win this here, but they have to engage with that. They absolutely have to engage with EMP Nano Monkey.
And here comes Lip with the EMP.
With the early EMP, good.
They decide not to Nano Monkey, but I think that could have been really good.
Yet to back up again. However, they are deciding to commit. Mangojai.
It looks like they didn't have to use it.
But without
it looks like they didn't have to use it because they're thinking we won this fight. Which it's really looking like they do. Big beat though. They're forced out. Look, they already forced out 2 ults, 3 ults. Okay, expensive fight for both teams. South Korea's looking like they come out on top here though. Yeah. Okay. So I think that South Korea being super conserved with their ultimate usage they were able to win the fight there.
But after that, South Korea is coming back to
too much ults.
They are making some really
there's
good
so
plays.
much going on here.
Had a immense ultimate.
Shout out to the people commentating on this, by the way. Very hard job to do. There's so much that happens in these games. It's so hard. Oh, big blade! Come on! Field. Oh!
The backline is unkillable.
They just don't die. Okay, they die to that though.
get the back line. One ult was
Rampage
not
should get
enough,
that back line.
but
They end up
two
winning that
ults
fight
are
because of
being up,
that.
and no one's on
You
that
take
page.
those.
Now pushing now. But
It's
they lost
they're gonna
the
have a
second
neutral
there.
fight here. No, they're not gonna have a neutral fight. Live with the EMP. They can super win this with the
And now they're
EMP.
approaching to the fight where they can actually get full
Have I ever
control.
bought Invasion for
EMP there
Overwatch 2?
takes down Kurumi, so maybe
What do you mean, did I buy
right now,
Invasion?
Hong Kong has to
I'm talking about the
back out.
PvE.
Now 2:10 left. And South
Because the
Korea's coming
PvE
back
hasn't come out yet.
hard. It would lip on.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting until it
position.
comes out to buy it. But yeah, I'm gonna
Few
buy
or
it.
more. Hong Kong now, after using that many, now 2 minutes, they might have one.
South
big
Korea's
fight
gonna
here
have
with Wolf, but it's
Pulse
going to
Bomb
take some,
here.
take some
I
time
think that
to
this
get
is
the
largely
Wolf
going to be
back.
determined
I think
by
Hong Kong
if
has about two
if Sparkle
fights,
gets that
maybe
stick, which
three,
I think that
if
Sparkle's
it's
going to be able to get
super
because
clean
Sparkle's
wipe.
an amazing tracer.
They will have one big chance because of the when they have their support ults online, it is going to be their chance because
I always
since
buy
Geo
anything that
went
is
to
Overwatch
swap-
related.
went to swap for the
Not
Zenyatta,
really.
ult charges are going to be a little bit slower.
I don't buy a lot
Yes,
of the skins. I'm
Fielder
not
will
buying
be
any of the
having
skin
that nano,
World
which
Cup
is on
skins or
right now.
anything either.
Hong Kong will be having their chance. This is going to be
I
their
mostly
chance.
just get the
It
battle
is a
pass.
4v5. However, the sound
And
barrier
I'm gonna
is
get
up.
like the
Kitsune
PvE because
rush
like
is up.
why wouldn't I?
They're not profiting from it
Oh,
though.
double support.
Hong Kong,
After the ultimate, nothing
They used
really
a lot of
traded.
ults there for
Their
not
own
much
ult being
value.
used from Hong Kong's side, and
That's
the
really
ultimate
bad
is
for
now.
them.
Oh,
South
I
Korea's gonna be
think
able to
Hong Kong
capitalize
should've-
that big time.
should've kept
Capitalize
those
on that big
support ults
time.
for the
I
next
do
fight
agree.
because it was going to be their only.
I will say though, South
best
Korea's gonna have to be real
opportunity. And
careful
now
on
with the
Hong
early
Kong's.
EMP again, that is going to be another
Yeah, before
stall
Mango Jai
for
actually
South
comes
Korea.
Wow, that's big.
How
Join.
does
On
Flip
Hong
get
Kong's
the
rampage, they're gonna have to be
so
really
quickly?
careful on that.
And it's
Because that's going to be the fight-winning ult that they're going to have next time, and there's not much that Trans can really do about that. Trans can save the Zenyatta, but can't really save many other people.
Slightly faster, like 0.2, 0.3 seconds, and sometimes you don't expect that timing to be by EMP.
Okay,
'Cause of that
Kurumi
anti-effect, it's just
is
brutal.
Closing up to his death blossom, and also R3K is going to have that. Next fight.
Hong Kong
Geo
needs to win
has
one
chances.
fight,
However, if
and then they
R3K's
force
rampage is
South
on
Korea
point,
into a position where they have to stagger on point and try to pull something together. So if Hong Kong can secure this one fight, they'll be looking much better. And it's looking like they're not going to be able to do that. South Korea just does so much against them. Hong Kong needs to be quicker on engaging in these fights. They need to be more confident. They need to engage and use those ults faster, because they're giving South Korea too much time to capitalize on their ability usage, to capitalize on possible ults and stuff like that. Like, you'll go into these fights with tons of situations where Hong Kong will have ultimate advantage, but South Korea is just able to get that engagement quicker and get one pick. And then they just crumble because one of their teammates is gone.
We could see those, but still
You knew
Hong
South
Kong
Korea isn't going to win, yeah.
providing real nice
Well,
answers.
listen, it's not over yet, okay? Hong Kong got the point super far. They got the point super far. They almost got it to full cap, okay?
And credit to
And
them for making this far. I
They
think this
they
was
have
the closest,
tons of
team,
opportunities
at least
to
in
win
this
here.
tournament, although this is South Korea's second
But
game,
South Korea is
they've
looking really
been
good right
really
now.
Close to wounding
Like
South
I said,
Korea.
Hong Kong
And
is giving them
South
a
Korea,
run for their money.
although
I
they-
seriously
like
think
you
that
said,
if this
G-Club, they did make
team
a lot of mistakes, but
was
great
coached
defense
super
on
well,
PLC, and
they could beat South
I'm looking
Korea.
forward to what Lip can
The
do.
thing that
Lip
Hong Kong
suffered
doesn't
was
have that South Korea
insane.
does is just that the pure experience, because
like,
South
you-
Korea has
with
so
other hero-
many
any
seasoned
hero
Overwatch League
of
players.
choice.
So many seasoned Overwatch League players.
And Hong Kong.
And Hong Kong just doesn't have that. And you know, for them not having the pure talent and experience that South Korea has, Hong Kong has been doing amazing.
It is defense,
And that
so
cannot be
Talon is going
understated.
to
That
play-
really cannot be
play the
understated. Like,
Tracer at least
seriously,
for
if
the
I was
game.
on Hong Kong's team and I was doing this well against South Korea's lineup,
Usually, yes, it
I would
wasn't
feel
really
amazing
on
for that.
one
I'd be like,
that Tracer that much. It
I'm
was
top
more
100 players to
on
ever
the
exist
maybe
right now,
even
baby.
today. So South
I'm-
Korea
I'm top 100 players to
is
exist.
responding.
Why
I think
Blizzard
few
doesn't
changes
name
after
Taiwan in World
seeing
Cup?
Hong Kong's composition, so it's going to
It is
be
what it is.
Winston and
Yeah,
Tracer
instead of being named
Ash.
Taiwan, they're
Lip
called
also
Chinese
showing
Taipei.
how he could be so good on the Ash
Most
last
places
time,
don't
2
consider
days ago.
Taiwan
So
its
this is
like
going to
own
be an
thing.
interesting fight of the snipers.
It's unfortunate.
I think Ash is just basically replacing the Widowmaker in that it can do she can do damage both mid-range and long range. So yes, it's not going to be a guaranteed one-hit kill, but yes, she can do that. So she can also have access to high ground with her chef as well, Coach Gun as well. And oh my God, Lip, stop! You are killing people left and right. And Can
a lot of
contest?
social
Maybe
points. I'll
Xiaolan
lose
can with that
social
Tracer. However, I
points
don't
for
think
not
it's
calling
going to be
Taiwan
for
a
long,
country.
And South Korea will be taking a quick point A.
Yeah.
Very quick.
China
First
isn't in
push
this.
does manage to
They have
whip.
Hong Kong, but
Basically,
like,
snipes coming out from that Ash. And Hong Kong, I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
they have to be ready. They had their own Ash.
it's complicated. They don't have a ton of Chinese
Okay,
players in
so
here.
I think
I would have
Hong Kong
loved to
has
see
the
like
right
Shy
idea.
and
They're
stuff
not-
in this,
they
but
can't
they're not in
compete
it.
with Lip on the Ash. So they are going to.
Overwatch
swap
is
the
banned in
Genji
China right now, I
and
think,
the
or something
Reaper
like that.
So that they can get close to Lip.
Hong Kong
and
hasn't
take
been
them
free
out
recently.
close
Yeah,
range.
I don't know. It's
I think
complicated. I don't
it's a good
necessarily
idea
understand
in
it on
theory.
ton.
It remains to be seen how good they can execute this. Xiaolan is known for
They're
its
pushed
good
up
Genji,
so. South Korea's
I'm
pushed up
expecting some
so
good things
far
here,
by a
but
way.
Lip is on another level here. Almost
They're playing their
closing
distance
to
so that
the
if
Bob
Hong Kong
already.
tries to rush them down, they have
Those
time to get
dynamites
back to their other
hurting
support
the
and get the support from them.
top line.
Yeah, you see, they're constantly keeping their distance. They're just trying to
Players
make
from
it so
Hong Kong
that
off the top, and just
Lip
Genji.
and Sparkle are in the position to possibly kill some
Careful,
people.
Bob already.
And they can capitalize on
Out.
people being low.
Everyone on
Ooh.
Hong Kong, they are
Hong
trapped
Kong's
in
so
that
close
little
together.
corridor over there, while
They're
the
trapped.
rest of the members of South Korea are just free pushing the payload.
Okay, that could have been a very dangerous pulse, but still managed to
South
survive.
Korea's trying to get out right now.
And Crazy first one to go
Wait for
down.
that opportunity to
But
open
Arthur
for them to
Gibby's
pop off,
bonding,
and there it
okay,
is.
But the rest of the members on the
Hong Kong, it's just well, South Korea. Sorry, I was saying I meant to say South Korea. South Korea is just such a calculated team. They're such a calculated team. They're willing to give up. Did you see how they baited Hong Kong into that? They backed up. They got their backline to back up, so that they forced Hong Kong forward, and then they capitalized on Hong Kong pushing a little too forward, and they all just jumped in on Hong Kong at once and killed them. This is an insane game right now.
This long alone. Well, there's a Winston.
You know,
And
South Korea is obviously a really amazing
even the
team,
Mercy now powering
but
up.
really you cannot understate
Hong
how
Kong literally
unbelievably
trapped here in
good
that
Hong Kong
response.
is as well.
Yes,
Like, they've been putting up an amazing performance. And I always want to say, chat, like, the worst, even the worst World Cup team would kick your ass any day of the week. Do not disrespect them, seriously. Like, even if you see not great performances from teams, do not disrespect them, because they would completely obliterate most teams' ass any of the day of the week.
South Korea,
Another
it's
bomb
playtime
there.
for Bob.
Another Bob Fearless right next to it, and they just have to dodge right after the fade. What can
Crazy
they actually
stuff.
do? Oh, South Korea about
Dominant
to finish this.
performance
Pushing
from
the
South
line.
Korea.
Here,
RTK
strikes in.
has to use the rampage just to get on the cart, not to. Oh,
Big
okay,
pick,
so
though.
Good headshot onto Lip.
Wait, this is winnable.
So maybe South Korea has to reset.
Taking their time with those shots, that was smart, but
That's another one.
ooh, caught out.
Can you get more? Another kill.
Sparkle!
From
Yeah, we are watching
Sparkle.
the best of the
Fearless
best.
now
Super
improving.
true.
Right next to it, the Reaper instantly dies. So now Mercy providing some damage. Charlotte tried to play this
The
one
only
out,
way
but
you can
not
get better is
close enough,
watching
and
literal
Korea
Overwatch League teams,
is
because
going
those are
to
like
take
literally
another
put together. Like
map
you're
of
pulling
Hong
like
Kong,
the
and
best
winner of
players
the
from
match
different countries and
is
putting
South
them
Korea
together.
once again.
Wow, what did
Worst of the best is still one of the best. Yeah, that's super important to recognize. And I get really annoyed whenever talking about these things, because people like look at like the worst player in this situation and be like, I'd kick their ass, and it's like, no, you fucking wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You know, I think the worst NBA player, at least as far as stats and everything are concerned,
Yes,
right,
many
of
fans
all
have
time,
waited
did
for
this
South
thing.
Korea
People kept on
to
clowning on him, being
show
like,
some
oh, you know, I could
Overwatch
beat him.
action. I think
No
we've
problem.
seen
He did this
quite a
thing
lot of display.
to where like he
There's
challenged a ton of
whole lot
people who
different
thought that he
comps
could beat
happening,
him, who
especially on
thought
their
that they
first
could
map,
beat
and
him.
also Kings Row, which
And
was
he,
one of
this
the
was like
most
whenever he
expected
was
to
past his
actually
prime too.
push
Dude
back
was like in
all
his
the way, but
40s and
that's
50s and stuff,
how
right?
good Hong
And
Kong
he
was today,
completely
especially after the
obliterated
change,
everybody
with
that
the
challenged
substitutions
him.
of having,
Which goes to
Mabuzai
show
back,
that
and
even the
also,
worst player in the
Charlene's
group
back,
of the
that
best of the
Genji had
best
some
will still
really nice
kick
play that we could see
pretty
in
much
Kings Row.
everybody's
Of course, South
ass,
Korea
you know?
did win at the end of the day, but they're the clear favorite of the entire group.
So yeah, once again, I just
That
wanna
was
say
a crazy game though.
how
Hong Kong
number one,
put
South Korea
up
proved
such
how
a good
they
fight.
were.
That was a
Number
treat to
two,
watch. That was a
Hong
treat to
Kong,
watch.
despite being on the
Hong Kong's
map,
such a good
going
team.
against the giants named
South Korea is
they-
just
they put up a good fight, and I
unbelievable.
really
Their
wanna
lineup
give
is
praise for that, and I
unbelievable.
still- this kind of, although they did lose 2-0, this
It's
is
a little
one of the
unfortunate
matches
that
kind
like
of makes me
Overwatch
feel
is
that
much
Hong
more
Kong is going to be a
popular
clear favorite
in
for
specific
third place on
countries
Twitter.
compared to others,
Yes, and we saw
because it shows in
scary
stuff like
moments
this
coming
where,
out from
you know,
Sparkle.
you get
on each map at
certain
least
countries that are just so unbelievably
and,
stacked, and it's hard
that's
for
going
other
to be the
countries to
result for
compete just
tonight.
because
Only
they
two
don't have
matches.
that pool
Indonesia,
of
Japan
amazing
was the
players to
victor
pull from
that match.
necessarily,
And match number 2
just
that we just
because
had, South
the game
Korea
isn't as popular in
is
their
going to
country.
be bringing that 2 wins plus 2 map differential, but South Korea only played 2 matches. Japan had
But yeah,
3 matches
that was
already,
that was
so
an
with the
awesome
update,
match. Holy
we'll
shit,
have the
chat.
updated standings.
Holy shit.
Still just even numbers all the way top to bottom.
So the 2 Overwatch continues for APAC A, and Japan on the top, like you said.
Hong Kong's
G-Club
still
with
number
3
3.
matches and 3-2-0
see,
makes them number 1.
I just don't like
in
APAC
APAC
A's
for
group.
now.
The reason why I don't like it is
Korea
because it's
not
super
far away
one-sided.
with
Like
2 wins and no losses, 4-0.
Japan,
Hong Kong,
South
did
Korea,
run
and
a
Hong
drop.
Kong
They
are like
they're
way better than
undefeated run finishes,
Indonesia,
but with
Philippines,
honor,
and
They
Taiwan.
are 2-1
They're just way
with
better.
+2, and I think they should be.
What
in a
if
pretty good
Mario
place
movies
to,
made by DreamWorks?
keep that third place. And we have our
I
next
don't know.
schedule next week.
I don't think it'd be
action
much
continues,
better.
G-Club.
Action, of course, continues until the end of next week, and that's going to be another really cool matches. The 2 matches.
I don't
that
think it'd be
we
much better.
Can't wait to see. That's going to be first one, Indonesia versus Chinese Taipei. The second
Next schedule,
the next schedule will be Philippines
Indonesia versus
South
Taiwan.
Korea. Yeah.
Philippines
Very
versus
interesting
South Korea.
matches, as we can't really quite tell
That's gonna
the
be good.
winner.
That's
Certainly
gonna be
is
a
going
good
to be for the
game.
first match.
Those are gonna be good
Yeah,
games.
Indonesia versus Chinese
That's gonna be
Taipei
happening
is going
next
to be
week.
very important
Name the worst
for both teams,
voice acting
because
I've
they
ever
need to-
heard in
they
the
need
Mario
to win.
movie.
If you lose this match,
I
I
don't
think they're
know.
mathematically eliminated from this group. So, and even if you win, you still have a
Who's
long
the
way to go.
worst?
So I think in a sense
I don't know.
that this is going to be the most important match.
The voice
of this
acting in that
group,
movie was whatever.
Ironically, because
for themselves.
It was whatever.
qualification is
It was
on the line
serviceable.
here. Philippines, South Korea. I hate
Peach's
to say
voice
this,
is so bland, but
South
so is,
Korea
like,
is
everybody's.
looking like the clear favorites after what I've been seeing from both sides. South
So is
Korea,
everybody's.
sheer dominance. I have to say this. Lip.
Sparkle.
Sparkle too.
Sparkle.
Sparkle on Nepal.
Sparkle.
No, Sparkle on Nepal.
Seth Rogen?
Lip
Yeah,
on
maybe
Team
so.
What a monstrous display. From
Seth
both
Rogen
teams.
as
This
Donkey Kong is such a
lineup is
weird
scary.
fucking choice.
Oh, yeah, I think scary.
But I don't. It's
might not
hard
be the
because they
best
made
word
so
to
many weird
describe
choices
that
there.
because
I mean,
there
like,
are-
you know, it's obviously
I
like
don't think
obviously
they
they're just
still
doing the whole
displayed
like you get
100%
celebrities
their
on
power
board
level.
to
That's
get
the
those
real
people coming
scary
in to
thing,
watch the
Yeah.
movie. Like,
We
yeah, that
haven't
makes
seen
sense. But
Sparkle's Genji yet.
whenever you think about it in the
We
context
have
of them
seen
being
Liv
Mario
Genji
characters,
a
like
little
Seth Rogen's a weird choice,
Very
and
impressive.
under that
Okay,
guys.
that was the
No.
preview.
Oh no, no sarcasm
I wish
right there.
I wish that there were more teams in these
At all.
regions because I
And
want to see
also
more
a very
matches.
impressive
I want to see more
showing
matches.
once again
After
from
something
the
like that,
back
like
from South
I
Korea
have to.
versus Atlanta
After
Ravens,
just
bro,
those
they
2 matches, which were
refuse to
really
fall
amazing
down.
to
And even
watch,
if they do
I
fall,
have to sit here and be like,
they fall
okay,
after such a
time to stop
long
watching
fight, prolonged fight
until like an
that
hour
provides
from
so
now,
much
whenever the
sustain
next
for the
thing,
entire team
until
of
like
South
2 hours
Korea.
from now, whenever the
Yes,
next
they
thing
did
starts.
make a
Like,
few mistakes,
ugh,
especially
I feel
on their
blue
defense
balled.
for King
That was
Pro,
so
but
exciting. That was such an exhilarating match,
yes,
chat.
it made me a
Like,
little bit
it's
concerned,
matches like that
but
that make me
in the
be
end, it really
like,
doesn't matter.
for just a
Yeah.
second,
Oh,
right? I'm just like,
horrible and
Overwatch is the best
you know,
game to ever
South
be made.
Korea, what they can
Overwatch
actually
is the
do
best game
in the
ever
group
made.
and the qualifiers.
You know,
Imagine when they're up in the next stage.
it just sucks.
Higher stage.
Sucks to
at that
see.
moment.
You
Wow.
and
As
it's just like as an
many of you,
Overwatch
I'm
player,
sure
you
want
barely
to
ever get
follow all the
like
teams
just
from APAC
amazing
Group
matches
A
like that. Like
and see
you'll
what
get
they're all
amazing
about.
matches
A lot
like
of
that,
these
but
players,
then
of
like
course,
the
come
rest
from
of them will just
having
be
very
so
rich history in
not
Overwatch, plus
pleasing.
some coming from incredible teams all over the world, basically.
Didn't know Seth
but
voiced the
for
main
now,
character in
South
Sausage
Korea
Party.
certainly
That makes sense. Isn't that like
dominating
a
and
Seth Rogen
showing-
movie?
Well,
And he
actually
also
proving-
voiced
of
one of the
course
main characters on
proving
Kung Fu
they are
Panda. I didn't know
capable
that
of-
part.
And
No,
remember,
I didn't know
South
that
Korea
he
is
voiced one of the
here
main
with
characters in Kung Fu
vengeance.
Panda.
They are
I know
not
that
the
Jack Black's
defending
literally
champions of
Kung
this
Fu
tournament.
Panda.
They are
The last
not-
tournament, the last World Cup, that was in 2019. The holders are the USA. So Korea is looking for their
own Avengers,
Yes.
and they have it. It
Looking
seems
for
like
their
they have
vengeance
their
here.
own Avengers.
It's the redemption arc for Team Korea, and so they are ready to show a very pleasing display. They want to
Yeah,
satisfy
I'm
their
pretty-
fans.
yeah.
They are here to represent.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Wow, what a early showing from South Korea.
Yes, and South Korea. Let's see how long they can win.
I should
might not
watch
even
that
drop a
movie.
single
I've heard
map
it's pretty
in the
good.
Qualifiers. That is totally possible. Let's see if that
It is
actually
a little early to say that. We do have
the last match.
maybe.
Uh-huh.
at the current moment, I think if you just look at the power levels, anything can happen in Overwatch, and these are
He
all
wrote the
all
story and
6
produced
teams
it.
in
Yep,
Pack
that
A
checks
are,
out.
once again, I say mechanically gifted teams and players. It's a matter of how experienced they are, how tactics, what their hero pool looks like, and from what I've been seeing so far, if there is a team that can take a map off Korea, it is going to be Japan, because
Japan,
I
yeah.
thought it was
Honestly,
gonna be
though,
either
Hong
Japan
Kong was
or
looking
Hong Kong
really
that
strong.
might have the most,
If
highest
Hong Kong
probability
had
to take a
another
map
match
off
with like
Korea.
South Korea,
Then
I
Hong
seriously
Kong,
think that they
yes,
could
they
have
did put up a
stolen
good
a
fight,
map off there.
but they eventually, in the end, they did not take a map away.
But
from
Hong Kong
Korea,
can
so
beat Japan
the
still.
last match of our
That's going to be
Caribbean
another
will
really
be
good match to
very,
see, is
very
Hong Kong and
exciting one.
Japan.
And still, speaking of
In
Hong
Japan
Kong,
and Korea.
I want to
That's gonna
praise
be
them
awesome.
a little more, because yes, it's a 2-0. Yes, it might have been a dominant display on the side of South Korea, but Hong Kong really put up a good fight.
I really
Yeah,
like the
for
match,
real.
though. Even though the result ends up being a 2-0 map score, we had a lot of in detail moments.
It's crazy
especially
seeing
Hong
the
Kong
2-0
trying,
map score on
the
these,
Nepal
because
really
like
going
you'll
for
look at
the
that and be like,
top
oh, like,
four
you know, the other
players
team got
into the
sweeped, and
first
then like
control
you
point.
look at the
I'm pretty
actual
sure
game,
South Korea
right?
was actually
And like
quite
think of
surprised
this game, for
that
example,
they
like
had,
on first
yeah,
map,
prepared
right?
that
On Hong Kong,
specific
Hong
fight
Kong
against
got like
them.
70-something
But that's
percent
going
on
to
both
be
maps.
it for
Like
us
it
for
was a
Data
pretty
Three
competitive
for,
map
APAC
match.
Group
It wasn't
A.
super
It's gonna be
one-sided
next
or
week,
anything,
and
but
we'll have
the stats are
better
like the
matchups,
stats
better
as far as
lineups
like
for
who
everyone,
won the
as we
maps are
continue to
concerned.
go
It's
through
gonna
the
make it look like it
Overwatch
was super
World Cup
one-sided, whenever it really
qualifiers
wasn't.
for Group A of
Like Hong
APAC.
Kong put
That's
up a
gonna
good
do it.
fight.
No, thank you. I was G Clef. See you guys next time.
Let's go. This was both really good games. Big. Hong Kong. Honestly, like, the stuff that they were able to do on these maps was unbelievable. I was super surprised what Hong Kong was able to do. I was expecting that their comp was going to get obliterated on this, and it didn't. It didn't. They put up a really good fight. That was insane. Big play from Xiaolan. Such a good engage. God, these teams are so good, chat. Ooh, that was nuts. Big highlights from this. The tempo that South Korea is able to keep up is just unbelievable. So we're not going to be seeing this again until Friday. That headshot, yeah. They capitalized on the ante, what can I say? Okay, so what's the schedule looking like? What's the schedule looking like, chat? Let's look at it. Okay, so we're not gonna have another game until 2.5 hours from now. Nice. Okay, well, we saw good games today, chat. You gonna go on voice chat? See you later. All right, see you later, Mario. So yeah, really, really good games we saw. I am going to end stream now, and I'll see y'all in 2.5 hours. See y'all in a bit, chat. We'll be watching more of this later. Be sure to drop a follow if you enjoy the content. See you in a bit.